Hey, my trading family, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. I want to give you a quick little market update and show you some levels you might want to pay attention to today and next week. So let's dive into it. All right. So it's basically respecting the levels that we talked about. So we mentioned this would be a really good short area, and this is still my bouncing area. So we are hanging out in between this. We are getting pretty strong closes on the market still, right? So we are pulling back. There's nothing ferocious about this pullback. This is a very, very strong bull move up. I think it needs to continue to work its way a little bit lower. I think 404 is going to be a pretty decent support. Really, though, I would love to see this come back down and fill this gap. I would... Boxes. That can't. That's the gap I'm talking about. Perfectly lined up with that candle. I would love for it to get down into this bouncing area. I think that would be healthy for the bulls. If this decides to just run off, that's okay. But it's going to leave a lot of unfilled gaps. And the higher this thing goes, the more extended it gets, the steeper it's going to drop back down. So I would say it's better scenario if we can keep this pullback coming. We just had jobs data come out, and it was a little bit worse than they wanted, even than expected. So the markets are down just a little bit from that. Again, we'll see if this can continue to pull back. I think it needs to. Today is the last trading day of the week, so we might just be hanging out. It might just chop sideways. It depends. If we start to really tank down, that might set the sentiment for next week. I imagine we're probably going to see a little bit of bulls coming through today based on how strong we closed yesterday. So that's what I'm looking at on SPY. Qs are basically the same thing. Qs are into a pretty good support. Not a whole lot of bouncing coming in yesterday. So trying to be aware of that. It doesn't mean it can't bounce, but I would have seen a lot more bouncing coming in. A candle that looked a little bit more like this if the bulls were super excited, and now we're gapping down. So is it bad? No. Is it good? No. We're just kind of hanging out, right? I still think there is a gap down here that needs to be filled. This would be a great place for some bulls. We should see a lot of bulls into this area. Same thing on SPY. So yeah, I would expect us to come down into there and get bought up pretty hard. If that can happen, that would be ideal. Let's dive into a couple other tickers. You guys have really requested Tesla lately. So I have bought some puts on Tesla. I've been in puts on Tesla for quite a while, really since February. So I'm still in these puts. Great gap down on Tesla. I would say yesterday's level was a huge deal. This level here at like 186 is a very, very strong support. That's the pivot spot on the trapping bounce. Make it all the way back up to the 200 EMA. And now we closed below that barely yesterday, pretty much right at it. And now we're gapping down below the range of today. So there is still a lot of weakness out there on Tesla. And I'll tell you why. The chart wise, right? Charts are, we broke down a huge level that cannot break on a monthly chart. We are simply retesting that. And right now, I think you have more bulls trying to get out than you have bulls trying to get in. The bulls that bought this dip, they got crushed, and they're sitting there going, thinking, what? As soon as I can get back to break even, I'll get out. That's exactly where we've gotten back to. We've gotten back to break even. They are exiting the trade. They're not super happy, and bears like me are jumping in. I feel like Tesla, it would not be a shocker at all to see Tesla back down to 130 to 150 range. I don't think that's a shocker, and I think that would still be a decent case for some buyers to come in there. So that's my targets on a short on Tesla. We'll see if it actually plays out, but that's what I'm looking at. So far, it has not really been very strong for Tesla. You have all your weekly EMA sitting right here. We've pulled back into them, and now we are not showing any strength. Yesterday should have been the strong day on Tesla. I expected it to be the strong day of Tesla. It didn't come in. So people are seeing the same thing. We're gapping down now. We'll see where it goes. This could just be a trap that bounces up, but even still, with this move down, if this candle can close extremely bearish for today, again, today is the last day of the week. Tomorrow's markets are closed. Any sort of bounce should be met with bears pushing this. So that's my thoughts on Tesla. I hope this helped give you a little bit of a market review, some areas of bouncing, some areas of resistance. If So you can read the markets and get an idea of how you should play it, how it's reacting. If we go screaming through the resistance areas, we know we're pretty strong. Jump on that. Day trade that bullish. Get some swing trades. Sell some options, right? If we come down to a bouncing spot and we don't bounce, there's another read, right? Bulls are not strong. How can we take advantage of that? This is how you trade, my friend. So hope this video's helped. Please give it a thumbs up if it helped you out a little bit in your trading career and help you to make a little bit more money. I'd appreciate that greatly. Hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy it, and let's see what these markets have to bring us come next. See you guys.